we'll definitely be playing four-line hockey this year. It'll just be the timing on when the fourth line gets involved. They're definitely going to add a spark and a lot of energy towards the players who are playing, in essence, above them on the top three lines. But it's about giving the players a little bit of a rest to ensure that we can play with a lot of energy. And the fourth line will be high impact for us this year. I think it's going to be a benefit for us down later in the year. As for a captain, we basically made the decision and just kind of watch the space. We'll announce it at the right time. Well, I think obviously, just going back to the previous question with the four lines, I think that's where we'll benefit from. I think, there was an instance in the final game against Nottingham. We called a timeout, and we had a power play. I think we're down 2 goals. I looked out on the ice, and 4 of the 5 guys that were on the ice for us, I felt were in incredibly good shape, fitness-wise. And when that puck dropped, they just went straight up and their legs were stiff, and it was a little bit to do with the fact that I've rode those guys so hard for so many months with a lot of minutes that they were playing. So I think the strength is going to be in our depth this year to ensure that we have energy at all times in every game. Yeah, I think the expectation, has risen, and that's a good thing. I think it's going to put not pressure on us, but the understanding that the players have to acknowledge that we do have a very strong roster for a lot of different reasons, and the performance is going to be there, but the results have to match the performances this year. I think we've performed quite well as a team over the last couple of years, but we've always ended up a little bit short just from maybe a lack of quality, a lack of skill, but we've ticked all those boxes this year. So definitely the commitment is there to win. Well, there's a couple of guys that really spring to mind. Obviously, Mark Smith is one of them, and he's just starting to get a lot of recognition from the players the last couple of years with our awards at the end of the year. But I think he does a lot of little things in the game that help us, and he does fly under the radar with the amount of shots that he blocks and the amount of battles that he does win. And I know he wasn't a secret around Cardiff, but he was a secret around other teams in the league for a long time with Stuart McRae, and he did fly under the radar for a lot of the years, but unfortunately last year he didn't, but he was another one. Well, I think when I first came over here with the Super League, I think that's, it was some of the best hockey, until the last 2 seasons that I've seen. I think it dipped off when it first went to the Elite League. Although I think it's picked up because when we went to the Elite League standard, there was more British players that came into effect, like the Matt Myers, the Phil Hills, Jonathan Phillips, guys like this who were quite young at the time, but have developed into strong players in our league. And I think that's led on to the next generation of the Ben Davis, Robert Lakovitz. I think these guys are strong players. So I think the level of play is getting better. The league is attracting better and more quality imports to the league, and it's just kind of going strength from strength. So hopefully it can continue from the league level, which will lead to the team levels getting stronger. Cool. Hey guys, thanks again for this week's Coach's Corners. Make sure to keep those questions coming in.